From the Northway Bank Online Newsroom, I'm Gare McKenzie. This local and regional news update is brought to you by Northway Bank. Want a Northway Bank teller to keep in your pocket? There's an app for that. Now available for iPhone and Android. Download yours today. Northway Bank with 17 locations throughout New Hampshire. The people you know, the bank you trust. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Conway police say an off-duty Conway police officer escaped with bumps and bruises Wednesday afternoon after he was hit by another car in Conway. Sergeant George Walker says Patrolman Richard Tabaj, who also serves as the school resource officer, was stopped in a green 2007 Jeep Ute Wrangler on Route 113 and waiting to turn left onto Stark Road when he was hit from behind by a green 2002 four-door Saturn. Another police officer and Conway Fire Rescue and Ambulance responded to the scene around 3:15, and one responder reported at least one of the drivers was entrapped. Conway Police Chief Ed Wagner also went to the scene. Both lanes of Route 113 were shut down as responders worked at the crash site. Tabaj was treated at the scene. The other driver, identified by Walker as John W. Marshall of Grove Street in North Conway, was taken to Memorial Hospital in North Conway with non-life-threatening injuries. Both vehicles had to be towed from the scene, and rescuers cleared it shortly before 4 o'clock. Walker says no charges are planned in connection with the incident. He says he's not sure what caused the crash. Today is the 10th anniversary of the fall of New Hampshire's iconic Old Man of the Mountain, and a longtime trustee and past president of the Mount Washington Observatory says it will be sort of a somber day. Brian Fowler of Madison, an engineering geologist, says it was on this day 10 years ago, May 3rd, 2003, when late in the morning a park worker at Franconia Notch State Park discovered the front rocks of the profile on Cannon Mountain had fallen sometime during the previous night, despite iron rods and turnbuckles that had been installed to hold them in place. Here's Fowler.
As a geologist and having studied it as long as I did, I thought it was pretty miraculous that the thing was up there at all. I was shook up with everybody else on the day it collapsed. It's too bad it's gone. It meant a lot to a lot of people, including me.
First reported by settlers in the early 1800s, the Old Man of the Mountain profile, made up of rock called Conway granite, was naturally formed sometime after the Ice Age by decaying rock and the natural freeze and thaw process. Fowler says it was that same weathering and erosion process that caused the rocks to fall a decade ago. The New Hampshire Department of Resources and Economic Development says the Old Man drew thousands of visitors every year. Fowler now serves on the board of directors of the Old Man of the Mountain Legacy Fund, a group that will host a public tribute to the Old Man late this morning at Profile Plaza in Franconia Notch. New Hampshire Governor Maggie Hassan has issued an official proclamation declaring today Old Man of the Mountain Remembrance Day. Tomorrow night, Fowler will be in North Conway to present a special free program about the Old Man at the Mount Washington Observatory's Weather Discovery Center at 2779 White Mountain Highway. The program starts at 7 o'clock. To learn more about the Old Man and efforts to preserve its legacy, see the website at oldmanofthemountainlegacyfund.org. In Maine, lawmakers are holding a public hearing on a bill to legalize marijuana in Maine. The Criminal Justice and Public Safety Committee is hearing testimony today on the bill, which is modeled on laws in Washington State and Colorado. Sponsored by Democratic Republican Diane Russell of Portland, the bill would legalize, tax, and regulate the sale of marijuana for personal consumption for people over 21. Adults could also grow up to 6 plants for personal consumption in an enclosed space. The bill would set aside 10% of the marijuana tax revenue for enforcement, 10% for addiction treatment, and 5% for testing. If enacted by the legislature and authorized by the governor this session, the bill would go to referendum on the ballot in November. In sports, the Manchester Monarchs stay alive in their Eastern Conference quarterfinal series by beating the Springfield Falcons 2-1 last night in Manchester. The Portland Pirates are hanging up their skates for another season after being swept in 3 games by the Syracuse Crunch in their quarterfinal series. They lost yesterday 4-3 to the Crunch in overtime. The New Hampshire Fisher Cats lost 2-1 to the Trenton Thunder in New Jersey yesterday, and the Portland Sea Dogs beat the Reading Fightin' Phils 7-4 yesterday, sweeping that 3-game series against the Phils. The Red Sox took advantage of a season-high 10 walks to beat the Toronto Blue Jays 3-1 last night. The Boston Bruins will be without suspended defenseman Andrew Ference for tomorrow night's Game 2 of their best-of-7 series against the Toronto Maple Leafs. They won the first game. And the Celtics need to beat the New York Knicks in Game 6 in Boston tonight to force the series to a decisive 7th game. In the weather today, sunny, highs in the mid-60s. Light winds becoming east around 10 miles per hour this afternoon. Clear tonight, lows in the mid-30s, upper 30s in southern Carroll County with light winds. And sunny on Saturday, highs in the lower 70s. From the Northway Bank Online Newsroom, I'm Gare McKenzie.